Hi. So I'm Charlie, and I just am in my pajamas. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. I got woken up to then do a transmission from an Arcturian council because, well, I didn't get woken up. I didn't get woken up to do that. I woke up and that was just part of this morning. I'm a channeler. It's what I do. I don't get paid yet for this work. It's been a strictly internship situation for like longer than I'm comfortable with, to be completely honest with you. And I'm I don't really know what it is I'm specifically here to talk to you about. Um, because I know who I'm talking to, and I don't really want to say your name because it feels weird for me to do that. But also, I know you're Stephen Colbert, and it's the 24th of February. I don't have a good reason for knowing that. It's just that I pull from potential futures for a lot of the information that I get because humans are kind of always doing that anyway. Like that's kind of just that's what anxiety is. You're just constantly looking ahead into what are very real and very potential futures. You may not know exactly how close or far they are, and many humans pull from collective potential futures that are very bad, like real bad, but also is not actually where we're going and not actually where we're going to end up, but you can still see it. You can see it the same way you can see an iceberg, kind of. But unlike the Titanic, we are not in a bit, unable to move levels of it's right there. We just can see it because of how loud it is and how much it reverberates through time and how closely connected it is to really horrible, evil timelines and stuff. And by timelines, I kind of just mean an individual's timeline or several that humanity is connected to in a way that we don't quite understand. But part of what I'm, here to help with is help people understand it. And awareness allows for you to quantumly disentangle from it, which allows you to then focus on the actual, like, path that we're collectively heading in, which has the delightful effect of speeding that path up and making it so that the really bad one that everyone's focused on is that much further away, right? Like it's really kind of math based because if the future if the potential bad future is here and the potential amazing future is here and humanity is kind of like heading in the direction that my mic is currently heading in, right? Imagine it like it's in space where any tiny like microscopic change in trajectory will have such an impact that there's no way you can touch this, right? Um, yeah, that's kind of what some of us who are awareness providers are. That's what an Akashic Record reader is, really. It's just you have questions about your life and about what's going on that is not part of your awareness. I'm here to cut through the mental bullshit and be like, here you go. Here's a buffet of things. Here's what's going on with your soul so that you can attune because soul doesn't want to go to the bad one. Wants to head toward the human evolution. Things are working well arena, right? And you specifically, sir, are a herald for that, for good, for the good place to go. Um, and your own awareness is chock full of the not so good place to go. And it's not so binary as this, that, good, bad. No. Um, there are, however, some very specific not goods that humanity can feel coming, and so they kind of do focus their attention on it. And it's what leads to, yeah, electing, like, it's almost like if you know that the iceberg is there, why would you elect a person to drive us directly into the iceberg? And it's because attention and awareness impact our life choices that make that become what our reality is. Whether it's obviously good or bad, we still just make the choices based on the fact that it's there and it's all we're paying attention to. So I guess what I'm here to propose is an experiment. You already are a person who doesn't give a fuck. And you do obviously, but because you've been fired and because you had an entire year, this is why people, like, when you fire somebody and you give them a year, it was such a gift actually, because you are teaching everyone how to say goodbye, and you're showing it. You're not lecturing on it. You're not, I mean, you have lectures, but like you're not lecturing on it, you're showing it. Because you're sharing gratitudes, you're centering your band, and you're helping them to like find their own voice and their own space and their own career after this career. And you make jokes about it, but you are also very, you're just being you, right? You're being you, obviously. Um, and I think that being the leader in this space with the other late night hosts too could make for a really interesting social experiment. See, quantum entanglements and our attention and awareness impact our reality, and they impact things that happen. I'm very curious what would happen if every single late night host for 1 week, and only 1 week, whatever week y'all decide, just only talked about and to people who are in everyone's highest good. And by that, I mean you don't talk about politics. Or if you do, you talk about people like James Tallarico. James? Yeah, Tallarico, right? Or people who are trying to do good. And yes, I know that flies in the face of like FCC rules or something. I don't know. I listened and then was like, stupid bullshit. Okay. But you're also late night TV show hosts. I would honestly argue a week off from politics, just a literal week away from it for the American people. And I say that because one, it's not going anywhere. And two, I'm so curious what would happen if the airwaves were completely free of seeing certain people's faces, hearing certain people's voices, getting updates about the things that they do. Because, yes, you have a need to inform people of things, but the news is still going to do that. The news, bloggers, vloggers, they're like, that's still going to be happening. But if for a week, and you would be very open about this, that's the thing. This wouldn't be like, this would be an open, we're going to be doing a social experiment with the entire country to see what happens and how influential we are when it comes to what happens in politics, and specifically what happens to political leaders if we spend a week focusing on literally anything else. And the only anything else is going to be things that are much more inspired and much more helpful. I'm talking scientists. I'm talking genuinely YouTubers. Seriously. YouTube is TV, and it is TV for millennials and younger. It just is. Seth Meyers has already kind of bridged that gap for himself a little bit because he's been doing corrections for years now where he's basically become a YouTuber a little bit. That's a vlog. That's a vlog that he does where he interacts with fans and does mail hauls and like literally. And personally, I have some recommendations for you for your show if you are at all curious. I think that I'm just assuming you're doing this because the impact that it truly could have if the entire American public who watches you, millions and millions of people, for you, for all of the rest of them, if all they focused on were scientists, just writers and performers, I would even honestly say take a break from other Hollywood people too, which probably is not, you probably already have that fully scheduled out. So I get it. But, and people want our stars, but like make it sort of a like let's just have a week of refreshing, like let's have a week of not these people, not these voices, not these anythings. Kind of to also do this to the FCC just a little bit, but because having the shakeup and the jolt of the quantum entanglements that end up happening on a daily basis when you are entangled, when you have them in your awareness, again, it brings that iceberg. So, to subvert said iceberg, or several, I really think that a week away from certain people would do the world some good. And it really is an experiment to see just what does happen. What happens? And you can theorize on it, and you can make your jokes about it, and you can really just lead up to it. And then a week of going dark. No politics. We're not doing it. We have a say in what we do. I have a say in what I do on this show. No politics. We're just not going to do it. We're going to instead do what we want to do. And there can still be politics talk, but fictional. And this is a different pitch for a different show. I'm going all over the place, but because I want to see The West Wing, but I want to see it on Seth Meyers' show, and I want it to be all of the female writers, only the female writers, like in it. Amber Ruffin is president, Jenny Hagel is vice president. Every other female writer is someone else in their cabinet or someone else that's performing there. Because while we're taking a week off of politics, I want to know what kind of world we live in if Amber Ruffin is president. That's all. Just a little hopeful. It's completely fiction, but like, let's just live there for a week and see what happens. And maybe not every day. Maybe it's just like 2 episodes or something. I don't know. Every day would be delightful, but just see what happens. Because I think they would have some really amazing ideas for like, and this is what I would do. And we're not paying attention to what's actually happening right now. You have the news for that. So here's what I do as president, and here's what I sign, and here's what we decide, and here's what, mainly just to give hope to people, because we could all use a dash of hope. That also helps to subvert things a lot, a whole lot, especially when there's a coordinated effort for this, a coordinated effort of hope and hopeful broadcasting. And I say that because, sir, I am a fan of Rachel Maxey. She is a YouTuber who has been a YouTuber for over a decade. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I've been following her for a very long time, and her career has kind of shifted, but she has also kind of more or less always done the same thing. And she's in the process of pivoting her business and providing services. And I don't know if you are at all interested in like a whimsy upgrade to like a home office where hopefully you can maybe just seek out a little bit of like post-show retirement life for just a little while and sit down and write some of those books that I promise you, I'm a medium. I would be so honored to sit down with you and let J.R.R. Tolkien speak through me and answer questions from you, because he wants you to write. He wants you to write. He wants you to add to the lore. He wants you to add stories from his world into the world. He believes you have stories that you are not sharing yet with the world, from the universe that he, created, and you are uniquely positioned to be really good at that. So, I'm just saying, I want to have that conversation. I want to know what that conversation is, because he won't tell me. I like talk to him sometimes, and he's like, I'm not for you. I'm for Stephen Colbert. And I'm like, yes, sir, I know that. But like, he's not here. And so anyway, J.R.R. Tolkien is waiting for your call. He would like to, anyway, I don't have to get the puppets involved. I know I do puppetry with mediumship. I don't have to do that. I can just like be an open channel and stuff can come through. Anyway. But Rachel Maxey does very whimsical designs, and she's a big Lord of the Rings fan. Her dog's name is Frodo. And her other dog's name is Pip. Like, like she's a big fan. And she would be completely overwhelmed to be a guest on your show. 100%. Completely. This would be a completely overwhelming thing, because she's very open about her own anxieties and her own kind of imposter syndrome a little bit. And it's not like she's going to be the kind of person who fully recreates like a set, but I don't think that you would want that anyway, because you live and work in sets. What you would get with a home office upgrade to kind of be more whimsically Lord of the Rings is something that's very cozy, very down to earth. Some things made with foam, but a lot of things made with wood. And perhaps being on your show could help her get some collaborators, and you could get like a YouTube collaboration to help. She could help design and do like certain elements of it, and then other YouTubers could also do elements of it, because like I think Nerdforge would probably love to get in on that. Like, depending. I don't know who would be a particular fan of just whatever, but Rachel Maxey specifically has a business, or she's starting a business of doing this for clients. And I can't think of a better client than you, just because you would be straightforward about what you want. She would be a really good source of just inspired, well, here's the whimsy, and here's what I'm thinking, and here's this, and you could both work together. It would be a really, really cute thing. And it would take longer than a week. So you would just meet with her. she would have a complete like, I don't understand how I'm here. Why am I here? And other YouTubers as well. You could do experiments with Evan and Caitlin. They are friends with Adam Savage. I guess friends is maybe a harsh. They've done things with Adam Savage before. MythBusters, right? Like, um, there's people who do cooking. Like, I'm sorry, have you ever watched a Claire Saffitz video? It's like she's amazing. She's just amazing. Like, she just is. She just teaches so straightforwardly how to do stuff. She's like the big sister mom person that like some of us have never had, and she's just showing you how to make. She's just a really good teacher and a really good at making, you know, all sorts of things. I don't know. Her show's amazing. And you could go chaos. We also watch like Brad Leone, who's just kind of chaos in the kitchen. If you would want to do stuff like that, it's just these are just my personal like people that I do follow. And depending on your brand of, well, let's, you know what, let's go big. Let's do any kind of thing that we haven't done. There is an entire world of spirituality content. And even if you just wanted people who do tarot readings or who do other just intuitive based things, people who talk to galactics, there's so much available and you could have really interesting conversations. Again, happy to be a person who comes on your show and has information from Tolkien. Just happy to be that person. Um, but the main experiment here, really and truly, is a week of going dark, a week of no politics on late night TV. Obviously, it's what late night TV has really become and has always been a part of it, but y'all are leaders in a way that they're not. And I mean that in terms of time, attention, and what it is that you specifically provide in terms of quantum entanglements. Because some of us don't watch the news anymore. My fellow millennials and younger, we get the news, we are online, we're doing things, but I've stopped going to Reddit because I can't avoid him. And you know who I'm talking about specifically. I can't avoid him. And I don't want to see him or hear him or get quantumly entangled with him in any of my day. I just don't want to. I don't have to. I don't work in the White House. Why do I have to be entangled with him? When Biden was president, he wasn't on the airwaves. He wasn't. He was sometimes, and obviously on y'all's show he was, but not in my life, not in my day to day, as it should be. As it fucking should be. But, so I don't even go on Reddit anymore. My like information taken is from people like you, and I don't watch TV. I take it in from clips on YouTube. So I decide what it is I want to see and what it is I want to take in, and there's a reason that Meanwhile is the main thing that I watch of yours. I don't tend to watch most else at this point. I'm sorry, that makes me a bad fan, but I just don't want to get entangled in it. I don't want to get quantumly entangled on a regular basis with those entities. I just don't want to. It's not healthy, and it puts you in the murmuration that heads toward the iceberg. That I know. And even though, yeah, sure, humanity's like gonna be heading in the helpful direction anyway, because we already are, I just think that there's an opportunity here. I think that there's a real interesting time that we're in, and you are uniquely positioned to lead it. You're uniquely positioned to lead it. So, I, yeah, that's sort of my pitch. And I'm just recording this because it felt the need to come out. And yeah, I obviously have aspirations of this becoming something that you actually see. Because why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? But it's just an idea for an experiment. What happens truly when it's just late night TV, the thing that is kind of dying, sorry, takes a week and focuses elsewhere? What happens? Anything? Because maybe I'm completely wrong. I don't know. And maybe no one would want to do that because they're afraid that ratings would drop too low. And if we're not doing the rage bait, what do we do? Oh my God, there's like so many other people who are doing so many better things. And I've just named a bunch of white people. Like, make it more diverse than what I do. Like, seriously, though. Why not make it a week of just centering really cool people that your writers and staff and friends and everyone that you really care about is already regularly consuming content from. Because let me tell you, to make a TV show involves so many people. Like, I don't know how many people work on your show, but can I tell you how many people work on Rachel Maxey's show? Her. Just her. And she puts out a video every 2 weeks. For a long time, she did it every week and complete, like, that's just too much for any YouTuber. But she puts so much effort and work into every video. That's why I'm kind of just doing this as like a fan thing, because I'm watching this person do a career pivot while I'm also in a career pivot. And I just want to cheer her on. And I would fucking adore seeing her on your stage being her magnanimous self, and also see what kind of whimsical home office you could get that's Lord of the Rings inspired, but not overwhelming, because it wouldn't be. Why would you want to be on a set? No, no. You want to be in something that's homey, that's your own version of a hobbit hole, but also probably a touch of elf, because let's face it, man, you're not Hobbit. You're not. Maybe you are. I don't know. I don't get that vibe from you. I get very much a like, well, if I'm going to be anywhere, I'm not going to be in the Shire. I don't know. I feel like I get that vibe from you. Oh, okay. Well, this is a video that I feel weird about posting. I just want to be honest about that because I'm in my pajamas. Oh, why do I make videos like this? Because then I want to post it. Because if you, in the off chance that you actually see this, and in the off chance that this actually becomes a thing, well, that's dangerous for me for obvious reasons. But like, it's just commentary on things, y'all. Come on, I'm just a person who is tired of how life is, and I really, 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 genuinely feel like there are things that can be subverted that I've seen that I don't like that I've seen, because you're doing future based like potential reality stuff and you're like, oh, the ship doesn't swerve. Have we heard how big the iceberg is? It's one of those situations. So like, I don't know. I'm putting this out into the world. I'm not gonna tag you for this one. I did for a job thing and I'm not doing it for this one. It's not happening. But I will put it out there with a vague title so that it's not clickbait, because I don't do clickbait. And I will see what happens when, if anything ever happens of this. Um, and yeah, those of you that are getting this video and seeing it for the first time, I do different experimental things on this channel. I do sing a lot, and I do talk a lot, and I have a lot of very different ideas than I ever knew before we died. So things have changed a lot since the near death experience, let me tell you. Okay, well, I wasn't gonna. Oh God. Oh, I need to have an existential crisis for a minute. And those of you that are still here, thank you for holding space for this. Because really and truly, if you aren't aware, I've been sometimes just hitting record on Zoom, uploading it to the cloud, and then letting it delete on its own, cause or deleting it if I'm like, ooh, real bad. No, but I do it as a form of, I need the self expression to come out. I'm still training to be any sort of public figure, as are so many who are in the spiritual community and trying to do spiritual teaching of any sort. This is how I'm practicing that. I'm practicing it by allowing whatever it is that needs to come out of me, and then I make my decisions about whether or not I post it on YouTube. And when it's conversations like this where I'm talking to a known celebrity who's a hero of mine, where I just admitted I don't even watch his stuff that much now, I'm sorry, I feel weird about it, understandably. Also, again, I'm in my damn pajamas. But also, aren't they cute? I know. Scout picked these out. Yeah. Um, yeah. So it's an experiment. What happens? I have theories. I have potential future things that I've seen based on how many of you actually do participate in this. Um, and I don't actually think that everyone will be able to, because here's my theory. Here's my big like hypothesis. You will all agree to this. If this does in fact become a thing, you will all actually agree to it. And then the tantrums will start in a big way. And they will bait you. And some of you won't make it till the end. So it'll actually kind of be a challenge. And when you set it up, you need to have consequences for those who agree in kind of a like, you lose a bet kind of way. Like, if you lose the bet, if you do not follow through on the scientific experiment, because it will be set up as a scientific experiment, you will need to have, you basically would do best to have people who do ongoing work, maybe at universities, partner with universities for this, because they're already following things, and you could follow, like, you could get a bunch of students who need to work on dissertation stuff to follow what is happening in politics, because they're doing sociological work on what's happening, just to sort of see what kind of conversations are and are not happening in the nation and the globe on different platforms. Like, we have AI. This is the time to use it. This is the time to actually use these tools to synthesize a lot of data at once to see roughly where are the trends. And yeah, it's not always completely perfect, but you can at least validate if what you're seeing and what is happening with the data is more or less the same, margin of error wise, right? And then see what happens. See how many tantrums happen. See how many threats start happening. Yeah. Because we elected a celebrity. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is not attention kind of the main reason that anyone wants to be a celebrity? I mean, fame, fortune, obviously. If that's who we elect, what happens when we're just like, fine then, we just will ignore you? For a well-adjusted person, that's just sort of a break. And especially for a well-adjusted celebrity, it's like, oh, thank God they're not talking about me for like a week. Whew. But for someone for whom the only reason to get out of bed is fame and fortune, and at least one of those got turned off with the worry that the other will too, what happens? I think we kind of know, but I'm not really worried about anything specifically happening that's worse than what's already happened. I do, however, think that some of y'all will take the bait and you'll have to talk about it. Someone will have to talk about it. And the big question is, would you include John Oliver in this or not? Because would he be who wraps up the week? Would his Last Week Tonight episode be about the last week when late night went dark? And he'd sort of be the big wrap up to what actually happened, because y'all would be collaborating on this and probably having to get the podcast stuff back together just for the duration of the experiment, so that we all have information about how it went, so that we don't have to pay attention to everything because we all get a break too. We'll watch your content. There'll be a swell in subscriber numbers for YouTubers that you would have on your shows. And, it would just be an opportunity to collaborate in ways that I haven't really seen y'all collaborating much, with people that I think would really do an amazing job. And yeah, to Rachel Maxey, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. And I really appreciate how authentic you are in everything that you do, and the fact that you do a TV show's worth of stuff every couple of weeks, and a Patreon where you also do a TV show's worth of stuff. It's an enormous undertaking. It's an enormous undertaking to be the level of YouTuber that some of these YouTubers are. It just is. And if you don't believe me, Ali Spagnola is another person. I have a PhD from her outrageous university. Go Sharks. I'm just saying, there's things that y'all can do, and I think Steven, especially the YouTubers I've mentioned on here, I think you would just have a lot of fun with them. I think you'd have an opportunity to have a week of YouTuber fun in a way that is a little different than I think other things you've done. I didn't mean for that to kind of rhyme, but that's part of what I do. So, okay. That's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. I feel weird about this, but I'm putting it out into the world, because how else can you meet your heroes? Lots of ways. There's a lot of ways you can, but this is how I'm trying. So, okay. Bye. Thanks for considering the experiment. We can talk more, and I'm not kidding about Tolkien. Okay.